Hello and welcome to the Great Egg Race. My name's Johnny Ball, and each week for the next 9 weeks I'll be introducing you to 3 teams of 3 people. Scientifically minded people who were given a problem like, in 3 hours construct a machine that will knit spaghetti. Well, if we use that problem, that'll be one of the simpler ones. Now we'll watch their efforts, see how they progress through the problem, and then they'll be tested and judged. But that's only part of the programme. After all, why is it called the Great Egg Race? Well, to explain that, here's our egg race reporter, Hilary Henson.
Hello. Well, the Great Egg Race is, not surprisingly, all about one of these. A fresh hen's egg weighing 55 grams. But it's also about the energy that you can get out of one of these small elastic bands. Now, the problem we've set this year is to design a machine, an eggmobile, to carry the egg the length of this 12-metre track in the fastest possible time. So that was the challenge we sent out to people throughout the country with the help of the BBC local radio stations. And we then set out on our travels to search for the fastest eggmobile in the world. What better way to arrive for the first heat of the Great Egg Race? We're here in Bristol at Ashton Court Mansion. And if I can get down from this thing, I'll be able to tell you a bit more about it. Coming in now. Now, I'll do a jump for it. We hope to be seeing a lot more strange vehicles inside today. In the music room, competitors are tuning up an astonishing variety of designs, the results often of several months' work, including some very beautifully made two-wheeled machines. At the start, contestants and their rubber bands are at full tension, and everyone's waiting to see what times they make.
Go.
Next, it's the two-wheelers.
Go.
The idea here is to reduce friction and prevent loss of speed, because there are only 2 points of contact with the track and less bearings. They are fast.
1, go.
But using a third wheel can help it to run straight. So why not design for one more, like Ian Bailey's Ergo? Well, it can mean one more to go wrong.
Go.
But there's more to this competition than straight engineering. So, at the end of the first round, we've got John Cross in third place with tuppence farthing. There's inflation for you. He's got 8.04 seconds. Then, second position, Julian Lee-Jones, 7.87. And in the lead at the end of the first round, Arnold Cook with 7.73. Arnold's up against John Cross, and the position's reversed. John's got a much faster time. Mike Witt and his daughter Sarah have named their eggmobile What on Earth Is It?
2, 1, go.
The answer? At 4.62 seconds, the fastest machine of the day and Radio Bristol's winner. Well, Mike Witt and indeed all the other local radio heat winners will be going on to the second round heats. And we'll find out how Mike gets on in that later on in the programme. But first, how do any of the competitors get their machines from one end of the track to the other? Well, the method a lot of them have used is something like this. You have a rubber band attached to the machine at one end. Now, this rubber band is huge so that you can see it properly, much bigger than the competition band. Attached to the band is a thread, which reaches the axle and is wound round the drive axle of the machine. Now, I'll wind it up and show you what happens. Now, the thread is going round the axle, and that's stretching the rubber band. Rubber band's coming up now, quite nicely. I think that should be ready to run. Now let's see what happens with it. This is my first go at racing an eggmobile. Can I get it to go? Right. It's going to hit the side. Well, that wasn't very good at all, but it was my first attempt, Johnny.
Aren't they incredible machines? So much inventiveness and ingenuity. And that brings us to the second part of the programme, problem solving, because the teams are going to need a lot of inventiveness and ingenuity. You see, the problems are quite straightforward, but to tackle them, they can only use the sort of things you'd find around the house, things in the kitchen, garden shed, or the garage. Now, the principal judge throughout the series is Heinz Wolf, who is the director of the Medical Research Council's Bioengineering Division in London. And our specialist judge this week is Michael French, Professor of Mechanical Engineering at Lancaster University. And now for our teams. From Wellcome Research Laboratories, we have Derek James, Laurelie Maskell, and Nick Woods. And then from the Medical Physics Department of Aberdeen University, we have Bill Edelstein, Glyn Johnson, and Jim Hutchison. And last but not least, from ICI Plastics Division, Welwyn Garden City, we have Robert Adelman, Ian Barry, and Neil Cogswell. And now, let battle commence. As the teams open their envelopes, we'll ask Heinz to let us into the secret.
Being the first program, we've thought of a nice, simple problem. It consists of no more than having to weigh either one of the judges or Johnny Ball. Now, there are a few trifling conditions which have to be met. The first one, and perhaps most important to me, is that no more than social cooperation is required from any of the judges. For instance, total immersion in water will not be permitted. Secondly, there's a time limit. The weighing operation as such must be over in 1 minute, and the calculation of the results, if this is required, must be over in 3 minutes. There will be extra marks if some form of direct, immediate visual indication of the weight is provided, and each team must be prepared to demonstrate some independent method of calibration which does not depend on knowing their own weights. Now, this isn't really very difficult, and I'll be very interested how they tackle this.
Suspending a seat.
Or you can suspend a seat, or you can have them standing on something like a bathroom scale.
Well, yes, that's the compression of spring. The other one's the bending of a beam.
Yes.
You have them quite simply moved along.
There are various lever systems.
Yes, moments.
Yes.
You know, a moment to counterbalance against them.
Sort of medical
That's a
weighing
beam.
machine.
Medical weighing machine, somebody inside.
The lever with the weight that you move along.
Keep away from medical things. The opposition are all medical people.
Except if he moves along there, then the two weights are going to, you're going to have to change the two weights. I suppose, yes, but you get him in one spot and you tell him to sit still and do it.
I think we've got to consider a straight-through drive from our sensing device underneath into our fluid mechanism. Now we can damp that.
We don't want to damp it too much.
No.
We might have the damp thing.
No weights.
Heinz, they're all busy looking through their equipment. Is there anything specifically there you think that might help them?
Well, no, I think they have, well, obviously there are certain things which help them, but their real difficulties are in what they haven't got. We've been very careful to exclude from all their kit anything which is either a standard of volume or standard of length. Sooner or later they'll have to get around to the idea that they'll have to manufacture their own standard of weight, volume or length before they can get much further. Something else, I suppose, which is another constraint in them is that they'll have to get it all done in 3 hours.
And Michael, it seems to me one of the big problems is the size of the thing they've got to weigh.
Well, combined with the very limited amount of material they have and the limited time, this adds to the difficulties very considerably. A lot of the standard kinds of mechanism that you use in a weighing machine, they just haven't got enough stuff to make in the time. Well, they've got to be very ingenious to do it.
The final balance, if we can get that with a with pouring water into some sort of a device with a float in it that has a pointer that comes up to.
So, while the discussions continue, let's get back to the egg racing with the Hillary hens.
And for our second round heats, we've come to the new London Transport Museum in Covent Garden. This used to be the old flower market, and it's been beautifully restored to house the new museum, which opens later this week. Almost 500 machines have taken part in the local radio heats, and of these, 18 have won their way through to the second round. And opening our second round heats, we have Mike Witt from Radio Bristol, Malcolm McIver, the winner from Radio Stoke, and Graham Wilson, who was runner-up at Radio Manchester. Our official judge and starter is Peter Parkhouse, lecturer from Keele University. Each of the machines will be running in pairs, and our first race will be between Radio Bristol and Radio Stoke. So can we have you at the table, please? Now, each machine gets a chance to run twice, and the fastest machine of the three will go through to the second round. And we're timing every race electronically because we're expecting some very close finishes. They're going to be timed in seconds and, in fact, to hundredths of seconds. Now, it looks as though they're nearly ready, so I'll hand over to you, Peter.
Thanks. Now, Stoke is still having a little trouble there at the moment. Okay, Stoke, can you come back a fraction, please? That's it. Both ready? 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That was very close indeed. Had a time of 5.20 seconds, and in the yellow lane, Radio Stoke, 4.79.
It's only a few pounds per square, you can only go about 18 inches below the bottom of water and suck air down through a snorkel, Jim.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Sure.
This is the Welcome Laboratory team, and you've been going for just over an hour now.
Yes.
How do you think it's going?
Well, we're getting on with the construction all right, and one of our problems at the moment is to try and get ourselves a unit length. And in order to do that, we're going to use the pendulum principle to try and get ourselves 1 meter length.
I see. How can you tell when you've got a meter in length with a pendulum?
Well, by rights, the time of the swing of the pendulum depends on the length of the pendulum, and for a meter it should be about 2 seconds. So when we've got a timed swing of 2 seconds, that should
You
give
know
us a
you've
meter
got the
length.
meter,
Yes.
or as near as you can get it.
That's what we hope, yes.
How is this going to
Excuse me, I won't stop you for longer than I have to. This is the Aberdeen team. Which camera are we on? Oh, over there. How's it going so far? You've just had just over an hour.
Well, we think we've got a plan, but whether it will work.
I see. What are you trying to do at the moment, this minute?
We're trying to get a block of wood of a known area, which will be the sort of platform that the judge stands on.
That's so that if you know the area, then you can work out the pressure that's on it and the weight.
It's acting as a diaphragm.
Can I interrupt you for a moment?
Certainly.
You got a pendulum principle. We've seen that with another team. What are the lads doing over here at the moment?
They're constructing a platform scale based on the compression springs, which we have 3. And the idea is that we have a diagram, very, very roughly. A block, 2 hinges to define an accurate fulcrum reference.
Yes.
Platform, the hinges at this end, sorry, the springs at that end, hinges at that end, and a roller on there on which the subject will stand and balance.
Well, we're just under halfway of their time, and I think they're finding it more difficult than I would have anticipated. How about this one? What do you think of this one, Michael?
Well, I think it's very ingenious. They're using it's a spring balance, really, and the spring is a bicycle inner tube that you can just see sticking out of the end there. But they're not that they're measuring the amount that spring is squashed by means of a hot water bottle, which you can't see in the middle, which is, when it gets squashed, will push water up a tube.
The principle of the next one is really rather different, because they're trying to construct something which is analogous to an airbed, so that the weight of one of us will be distributed over a fair area, and the actual pressures which they'll be measuring inside the bag will be quite moderate. How about the ICI team, though? They have really got quite
Well,
different.
I think they've got quite a good scheme there. They've got a spring balance, in effect, with some springs at the end of a board, and it's hinged at the other end, and they're going to stand the weight in the middle of it.
I see. In fact, I had a look at it just now, and they're hoping that we balance on a piece of doweling about the diameter of a liver sausage. And I've already imagining getting clawed feet, or like a bird trying to hold on. But I think it's still within the limits of social cooperation, which I promised them.
Yes. Right, things are really hotting up here, but I think there's still time to go back and see some more egg racing with Hilary Henson.
So, at the end of the first race, Malcolm McIver from Radio Stoke is in the lead with 4.79 seconds. And Malcolm now gets a second go because he's on the track in the green lane, the left-hand lane this time. And racing against him is Radio Manchester, whom we're seeing for the first time. So, can Malcolm hang on to his lead, or perhaps even do a better time than he did before?
You're ready, Stoke, are you? Manchester's still winding the band up, as it were, putting it under tension. Yes, there we are, splendid. Manchester sighting along the track now, because getting it straight is so important. Are you ready, Manchester? Fine. Stoke, can you come back a fraction? Stoke, back a fraction. Lovely, there we are. We're both ready. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
For the time there, Radio Stoke has got a better time, 4.98, and unfortunately, because Radio Manchester crashed, it has no time. So, at the end of the second race, Malcolm McIver from Radio Stoke is still in the lead, but in fact his best time remains his first time, 4.79. And all Malcolm can now do is sit and wait and hope nobody beats him, because he's had his 2 races, but we still have 1 race to come between Mike Witt of Radio Bristol and Graham Wilson of Radio Manchester. And remember, only 1 of these 3 can go through to the semi-final. So who's it going to be? Now, it's going to take them a little bit of time to get their machines ready. So while they're doing that, we'll go back to the problem solvers and Johnny Ball.
Well, with half an hour to go, it's an absolute hive of activity. They're all working furiously now, and they've all used, to some extent, similar methods, but different equipment, different materials. Can you talk about that now, Michael?
Yes, well, 2 lots are using fluid systems and 1 lot are using metal springs. The Wellcome Laboratories people are using a combination of hot water bottle and an auxiliary spring, as it were, which is a bicycle inner tube. They're at the moment making a large standard weight by putting a known quantity of water into a dustbin.
Fine. Now, the second team from Aberdeen, they're not using a hot water bottle, they're using a large plastic bag.
That's right, and they frame part of it to make a kind of bellows.
Yes.
And the bellows is going to open with a hinge at one end, as far as I can see, although I'm not quite sure about that.
And the other team?
Well, the ICI team are using springs in a fairly conventional way. They've got a lever, in effect, a board hinged at one end and supported by springs at the other, and they're going to stand the judge on the board and find out how much the springs compress.
OK, Heinz, the other point is, how are you going to judge them?
Out of the 100 marks, which is the theoretical maximum which any of the teams can get, we are going to allot 60 marks for the accuracy of the actual weighing. And within these 60 marks, the first 100 grams of error are free, as it were. We aren't quite sure ourselves whether we managed to weigh people that accurately. the next 3 kilograms of error, they're going to lose 1 mark for every 100 grams of error. So they can lose half their 60 marks in that. And if the error is larger than 3 kilograms, they're going to lose an additional mark for every 250 grams of error. And that leaves us 40 more marks to award for elegance, audacity, ingenuity, interesting use of materials, and other more subjective factors which the judges will take into account.
OK, well, with about 25 minutes to go, I think we've just time to look at our third and last egg race with Hilary.
This is the third and last of our races today, and it's between Radio Manchester and Radio Bristol, and they're both hoping to beat the winning time, which has been set by Stoke so far. Now, if I could interrupt you briefly before you wind up your machines, you've just had to do some emergency repairs. Do you think it's going to hold?
Well, we can only hope that it's going to hold this time.
Well, I hope so too. And Mike, do you think you can beat that Radio Stoke time?
Well, I hope so. In Bristol, I improved my times. Perhaps I can improve again today.
Good. See. Best of luck, both of you. I'll get out of your way.
Are you both ready? Right, let me tell you. Manchester, can you come back about a half a centimetre? No, forward a bit more. A bit more. OK, you're happy there. Fine. OK. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So that means our fastest time today was 4.79 seconds. That was Malcolm McIver from Radio Stoke. So he becomes the first of our semi-finalists, with a chance to win the Hartman Fibre Trophy and a cheque of £250. Next week, we'll have contestants from Cleveland, Solent and Birmingham, also competing to see which of them will join him in the semi-finals.
And that's it. Time is up. Time has beaten all of you. All 3 teams have finished now. And now the results. The results are in the balance. It's time to weigh someone. And Welcome Laboratories are going to have to weigh Michael French. Come in, Michael.
Michael, would you like to stand in the bucket?
Inside?
Yep.
Oh, well, my students would approve.
OK. Right. If you maybe stand with your feet apart a little bit.
That's OK, as long as you stand up still.
Right.
Can you move over?
So, while Welcome Laboratories are doing their sums, it's Aberdeen University's turn to weigh me. Are you ready for me?
Yes. Now you try and center yourself on that spot, facing that way.
On one leg?
No. 2 feet.
Facing?
No, that way.
That way?
Yes. Any way you go. Go ahead. In with the other one, quick.
I can hear a leak.
Unfortunately, that's right. Uh-oh, we've had it. We've had a quick inflate. Okay,
You've got to pump it up again?
Yes.
OK, because you've got a minute to weigh me,
Right.
so you're all right.
Okay, get out.
Good job you didn't try that with me standing on it. Anyway, I'm getting on now.
Okay.
All right, can you move your fingers?
Damn it. Right, there's that. And there's that one there. There's that one there. Okay.
Something went.
Okay.
Did you get it?
We've got something.
OK, well, that was well within a minute. All right?
All right.
So they've got some time now to do their sums. So we'll move over to ICI and see how they got on.
Now for my balancing act.
Yes. And you also have to hold this.
Well, I can see one of you have to steady me.
Yeah, OK, I've got you.
To be blind. Where's this dustbin?
OK.
All right. I'll hold it up.
Strong line. Okay.
Yes. Finished?
Yes. It is direct reading.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now it's crunch time. So welcome laboratories. Have we got to wait for Michael French?
Yes, we calculate that he weighs 75.86 kilograms.
75.86 kilograms. Thanks a lot. See how accurate that is in a moment. It's Aberdeen now. And Johnny Ball. Oh, that's me. Yeah, what do I weigh?
Well, we hope you weigh about 76.5 kilograms.
76.5 kilograms. OK. And lastly, ICI. And Heinz Wolf's weight, please.
Well, we believe that Heinz Wolf weighs 81.7 kilograms.
81.7. Well, we'll feed those into the computer, or Heinz will, and wait for the result.
The computer has previously been given the weights. So it's Michael. And the weight was 7.5. And they get 60 marks. They've got the weight exactly right. The next team was Aberdeen, who weighed Johnny Ball, and the weight they got for him was 76.5 kilograms. 76.5, and their mark is 17. At least not quite so good. And the last one, Heinz, and they quoted my weight as 81.7 kilograms. And score 37 marks, my real weight being 79.3 kilograms.
So there we are. We've got the marks for the accuracy of weighing. And Heinz, can you now give us the extra marks that they may have gained?
Yes, after a certain amount of consultation, we've come to the conclusion at Wellcome, who've done so extraordinarily well on their accuracy marks, get eight marks for convenience, because I think it wasn't really marked for the convenience of its use, and 15 marks for elegance, audacity, and all the other things we'd like to award, giving them a total of 83 marks. And next, Aberdeen, who didn't do quite so well on the accuracy, only scoring 17. They, however, get 15 for convenience of use, because there wasn't really much involved in stepping onto their platform. It was kind on the user. And 12 for elegance, particularly that praying bit where they had to blow up their bag, giving them a total of 44 marks. And finally, ICI, who scored 37 for accuracy, not at all bad, score 16 for convenience. This score is largely made out of the fact that they were a direct reading machine, which had a scale on it, and therefore did not require any computation subsequent to the weighing. And they scored 12 for elegance, particularly that multicolored piece of plasticine, which you used as a weight, giving them a total score of 65. So the winners of this first competition are Wellcome.
So, Wellcome, as the winners, receive this Egg Race Egg Cup. We'd like to thank Wellcome. We'd also like to thank ICI and Aberdeen for joining in the fun. Next week, we'll have 3 more teams and another problem. We'll also have some more exciting egg racing. So from myself, from Heinz, and from Michael, goodbye for now.